Welcome back to Living with a Classic and daily videos until Christmas, day 17. If you remember, I think it was last week, we were at a 1966 S-type, which had a leak from here, the brake fluid reservoir. A crack up there and a crack low down as well. I have a new one, so we're going to go and fit that, and hopefully everything works again. He has good brakes, nothing else leaks, but that was definitely the culprit. It was hard to see because someone had wrapped some silicone around here, and it just looked like a grommet because this is where the clamp sits, the hole sit. So it looked like a little grommet, but it was just a really bad bodge. But let's fire up the old XJ6 here, go for a bit of a drive, and fix this for him. Just went for a little test drive, and perfect brakes, fluid, just bled it a little bit there at the line. Everything feels really good, and all the wheels locked up when we hit the brakes. So running nicely and back on the road. That went well, but didn't really feel much. He was in a little bit of a hurry as well because he's trading the car in for another cool Jag, which you will see on the channel. He's bringing it by sometime in the spring for a bit of service work, something old and cool as well. However, I thought, you know, it fixed, it works. That's good, but we can't really end the video here. Let's work on the XJ40. I'm back and then have a little bit of time. If you remember, we had a massive LHM leak for the Christmas special, and we made a special plug just to try and get rid of that because some shop had done a really bad job of removing the self-leveling rear suspension and just put a hose and some hose clamps on a high pressure line. But I have the fix, what you're supposed to do. When you remove the struts in the back, they have these bleeders, which are the same size as the hole up front. So you take one of the bleeders from the struts and you plug the hole up front. Since the struts are gone, I have ordered a new bleeder and I'm going to put that in there. And then if we have some spare time, I want to give the heater one more shot and see if we can get that going on this car. Okay, let's check under here. And I mean, we're going to continue tightening this thing up. I'll probably want to remove this hard line all the way, but you see a bit of a leak around here. So let us remove a little homemade plug here, hopefully. I forgot that we put like thread locker and Loctite, whatever we put on here. So it was a two-hand job to get this off. So it did its job, and I realized the leak over there, that's just a silly mistake. We forgot to tighten up one of the hoses for the power steering reservoir. That's why we have that leak there. But let me get this off, and then we'll put the correct plug in. Here is the plug that we made in the middle of the night. So it is a brake fitting that I threaded, put a bolt in, some copper washers, and you know, it worked. Had a tiny drip though, and now we have the correct plug in there. I also tightened that hose clamp that we forgot and cleaned up over here. Needs an engine bay detail, but let's see. We're on the cold mark, so that's good. So hopefully now we won't have issues with, this is reverse thread, can someone tell me why? Now we won't have issues with more air in the system. So let's fire it up and check for leaks on both systems. I still need to go and get some fuel, but I haven't driven it because of the LHM leak. Do need to fill up with LHM as well, but I want to make sure it, because it just started getting power fluid low message, but let's see. Oh, it runs so nicely. Coming up and charging, and oil pressure, it takes a while for the build up on the gauge there. I think it's a sender, but after a while it will be pretty much, you see, almost maxed out, which isn't bad at all. Circuit 2 failure, power fluid low, and that just came on, so we'll be filling that up once we find out it doesn't leak. So let's go check. tiny bit, so I think we'll tighten that just a little bit more. Once again, that was a two-handed job, but yeah, that's just some residual on my finger, I think. Yeah, perfectly dry, and yeah, we seem to be dry from there as well. Probably still have a bunch of air, just because that's why we probably haven't been able to get the air out of there, but yeah, no more bubbles. That's really good. Let's check if the power steering feels better. With that fixed, one thing I want to do is give the heating system a chance. We got the fans going, and this valve is working as it should. It's in a down position now, which means open, and both hoses are warm. So there is water getting to, hot water getting to the heater core, coolant. But I think the issue is that one. We cleaned that pot with electrical spray, but not that side. So I'm going to tear this all apart again, like in the previous video, and we'll spray that one out with contact cleaner, and this one as well, and we'll see if it comes back to life. I've played around with every single setting, and it doesn't react when I swap here. Sometimes I feel like a little bit is happening, so I'm guessing it is either some sort of module in there or some flap is stuck. Because also, during heating, you should not get anything out of center vents, and I'm always getting airflow out of the center vents, even in defrost when it should just switch to max heat. There's a tiny bit of airflow here. Just in the beginning, I got more airflow here, but now it's sort of stuck. So that will be another day in digging into behind here on the side, seeing what I can fix. However, going up temperature, charging nicely, and everything else is going well, and the leak in the engine bay is fixed. All right, well, mixed video. Two big successes, fixing the S-type over there, and he did make it to his destination and the brakes are good, so that's really great. And fixing the leaks underneath here. However, still no heater. I need to look into, I'm not that familiar with if there are vacuum actuators or something moving. I'm much more familiar with the older system in the Series 2 and Series 3 cars and the XJS, how that all works. But it's just something that is stuck. It's stuck on basically max cold. And, well, that's not great. Would like to have some heat. Because if I had heat, I would actually drive this thing now a bit. Because we don't have any salt on the roads at the moment, and it's pretty nice. And the heated seats work, but I do need some heat in the cabin as well. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do please hit that subscribe button. I'm getting really close to my goal of 30,000 by the end of the year. So if you can help out, that would mean a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.